Best Public Affairs Program. And the star goes to Open for Business Net 25.
It is a signal to the world that we are open for business.
We are now open for business. This is Cesar Vallejos bringing you yet another episode to guide you in discovering your passion and growing your business as we learn from experts in the field. Sama-sama tayong matuto sa isa na namang makabuluhang usapan tungo sa pagpapaunlad ng inyong negosyo. Ang Open for Business ay mapapanood nyo rin sa YouTube at sa Facebook. Siguraduhin mag-like at mag-subscribe sa aming social media page at Net25TV. Alamin natin, suriin mula sa mga negosyante, thought leaders at mga personalidad sa iba't ibang larangan ang mga strategies, trends at mahalagang karanasan sa pagninegosyo dahil tayo ay open for business. Open for Business is traversing Electric Avenue as we discuss the potential of electric vehicles or EVs in the country. How favorable is it for consumers and MSMEs to use EVs beyond being exempted from number coding or getting favorable tax cuts? We'll talk about the nitty-gritty of going electric with Mr. Dennis Nang, CEO and founder of Mober, a pioneer in delivery and logistics service using EVs.
This portion is brought to you by Red Juice. Mas masarap ang pakiramdam kapag malinis ang kalooban.
Hi there!
This is RJ Ledesma.
And this is Bubble Slim from Easy Franchise, your go-to platform for all things franchising.
This year, we are officially launching Franchise Incubation, a service that will help business owners.
Mga ka-netizens, ako po si Tito Soto sa programang Reality Check. For more live and updates, please don't forget to like and subscribe to Net25 TV.
Ay mga ka-netizens, ako po si Vic Soto ng Lab Boss Tally. For more live and updates, please don't forget to like and subscribe to Net25 TV. Ay,
Mga ka-netizens, ako po si Diana Menezes from Kada Umaga. And for more live and updates, please don't forget to like and subscribe.
Kaya tara ng Pilipino, let's get together, let's all come alive. Kaya tara ng Pilipino, let's net together sa Net25. Sa Net25.
Palawak ng palawak ang naabot ng Net25, hindi na mapigilan. Mapabata man o matanda, ang programa ay kinahiligan. Together forever, walang iwanan, lahat tayo ay paangat magilaan. Maganda ang buhay, malinaw ang signal na abot sa bawat tahanan. Tara na, sambayan ng Pilipino, sama-sama na sa bagong paborito. Hinahanap ang talento at mga idolo, lahat ay nandito. Kaya sa Net25,
kaya tara ng Pilipino, let's get together, let's all come alive. Kaya tara ng Pilipino, let's net together sa Net25. Sa Net25.
sa Net25, tara na, tara na, tara na sa Net25. Talagang lahat ay masaya, sulit ang panonood, kaabang-abang ang mga kasunod. Kaya patagal ng patagal ay parami ng parami ang manonood. Tara na, sambayan ng Pilipino, sama-sama na sa bagong paborito. Hinahanap ang talento at mga idolo, lahat ay nandito. Kaya sa Net25,
kaya tara ng Pilipino, let's get together, let's all come alive. Kaya tara ng
The Philippines has a commitment to cut greenhouse gas emissions by 75% from 2020 to 2030 with a target of increasing by 10% its penetration rate of electric vehicles or EVs by 2040. To help it reach this goal. How far are we on this goal with nearly 13,000 EVs registered as of 2020, mainly in Luzon, and less than 40 charging stations in malls or hotels and select petrol stations as of January 2023. While we may see a growing number of EV use, it's still a far cry from the rate of adoption from other countries. Of course, it comes as no surprise that apart from costs and infrastructure, there are factors that hinder the massive use of passenger EVs in the country. Currently, EVs are more popular in 2- or 3-wheeled motorcycles, which we commonly see on the road these days. To help us gain more insights on the challenges, goals, and benefits of using EVs for business and personal use, we have Mr. Dennis Nung, the CEO and founder of delivery service and logistics company Mober. Welcome back to Open for Business, Dennis.
Thank you for having me here, Cesar.
The first time that you visited Open for Business, we are very fortunate to have you talking about startups and delivery business and logistics, which most of the technopreneurs mentioned during that time. But this time, the reason why we're here is the popularity of electric vehicles, and you are pioneering it. What happened between that time and this time? Ang dami ngayon na pinag-uusapan ang electric vehicles.
The first time you had me here, I was talking about the delivery shared platform. No? So Mober then was an online or mobile app where you book a delivery and a driver will come and pick you up, right? But after 2 years, we learned a lot from that. No? As a startup, we have to be agile. So we have to know alin yung dapat baguhin, alin yung dapat i-fit sa market natin sa Philippines. No? The challenge then was like having a lot of drivers, and you have to make sure that there's a lot of bookings then. No? Then based on our experience dati, negosyo kasi ang pinuprovide natin. If the driver canceled a delivery, ang nasisira doon yung negosyo ng isang negosyante. So that's our responsibility. Unlike if you do a ride-hailing, pag hindi pumunta sa yung sasakyan, pwede ka mag-jeep, pwede ka mag-taxi. But on the negosyo side, it's our responsibility as a provider na dapat yung client namin, mabigyan din namin sigurado ng magdi-deliver. So we changed our model. Mober is inside 100 malls. Yung nag-offer ng same-day delivery, they just use Mober enterprise account, guaranteed na may driver talaga dyan na magdi-deliver. So we consolidate the deliveries, we make the delivery cheaper. At the same time, the consumer will enjoy a same-day delivery. So that's our model now.
So the insight there, Dennis, is that you really have to also listen talaga to the needs of your market, both the consumer and basically the entire value chain. How long did it take you to realize that in the light of the competition that's happening in that space?
Yes. So in our space, it is very expensive for us to maintain the supply and the demand. When I say the supply, ito yung mga drivers na nandito. And the demand, we have to make sure that marami nagda-download ng app, right? So I think our competitor did very well in doing that, but they have invested so much money to reach that level. No? Unfortunately, for a Filipino startup, we're not able to get that much funding or investor to go to that playing field. No?
Kasi yung mga kalaban ninyo, foreign-owned,
Yes.
or supported by investors outside the
Yes.
Philippines?
They're foreign-owned.
I see.
So they're foreign-owned.
So, sa inyo, talagang Filipino-owned to 100%.
Yes.
Yun ang pinagmamalaki
So, but
natin.
ang maganda lang tayo as a Filipino, we're very agile. Madiskarte.
Pero hindi ba nila sasabihin sa inyo na parang, di kumuha ka na rin ng foreign investor dyan, wala bang lumapit sa'yo to infuse more funding? Or meron kasi kami na interview dito na, no, I want to develop 100% Filipino startup. Is that also your thinking, or makakain na masyado yung company ng foreign ownership?
Of course, we're looking for investors, no? But after the pandemic, nagbago na rin yung industriya. Investors like mga VCs, hindi na sila yung market share. Yung parang, di bale, mag-burn tayo na mag-burn basta makuha natin yung market share.
Tama.
Then after makuha natin yung market share, saka tayo mag-isip kung paano natin i-turn into cash, no? Nagbago na. During pandemic, talagang maraming nasunog ng mga investor. So, most of the investors now are looking at yung bottom line mo. Are you making money now? Are you close breaking even? So, ito na yung mga tinitingnan ng mga VCs ngayon. So, like for Mober, we are there. We're positive. Again, as I mentioned, we're very agile. As a Filipino, madali tayo mag-tweak, no? I know na hindi tayo mananalo sa laban na to. Let's tweak. So when we tweak, I don't want to say pivoted because we're still in the tech logistic, in the last mile, right? Oo. We tweak the model na makikita mo na pag pumunta din yung current na kalaban mo, it will be hard for them to go to our area because mas maliit, pero it's a blue ocean. It's not a red ocean, right? Pag pumunta sila doon, mababago yung whole environment nila. So why go to this one? So we just want to be a fish in a blue ocean. So
But with that strategy, hindi ka rin ba nangangamba doon, Dennis, na parang eventually this other technopreneurs will go into that space? Parang hindi ba nila, okay, kasi ang nangyayari sa'yo, parang okay, you open this up, and then here comes the bigger one, and they take over.
Yes, I mean, that's a deja vu because I opened Mober, kami na una sa Mober, then may pumasok ng mga player, right? So parang kami yung na-chipwera because we're not ready or able to raise that much fund, right? But again, sa lahat naman ng negosyo, as a founder or as a may-ari, alam natin na may competitor.
Tama.
I mean, if we don't have competitors, I mean, the service will not be good, right? So for kami sa Mober, we're looking at this window. We have a window lang. Meaning, I have 2-3 years window. When we are doing now electric vehicle delivery, I'm sure after 2-3 years, everybody will go to that field, right?
Yes.
So what will happen to Mober after that 2 to 3 years, right? So, may mga strategy na tayo. We're looking forward na pag pumasok na sila lahat, nauna na tayo, in the EV industry, ang pinakamahal kasi baterya. When you buy a car, a truck, when we say a car, a truck, and a van, yung van natin is similar to an AUV. Ang AUV is around, if I'm not mistaken, pag diesel siya, mga 1 million peso. A full 100% electric AUV is around 2.1 million. The cost is double. I'm very glad that si PBBM supported the zero tariff. When you import EV, zero tariff na. However, the technology of EV galing sa China and they perfected it na. Chinese and Filipino kasi meron tayong AFTA. This is the ASEAN Free Trade.
Yeah.
So wala naman talagang tariff na. So but if you import an EV from Europe or from US, yun ang makikinabang. Kasi
I see.
yun ang may mga tariff. Ito, di ba? So
mapipilitan ka to get the cheaper cost, you go to China.
yes,
rather
but
than
to the US, right?
US or Europe.
So, but again, if you go to the US and Europe, mahal siya, but the technology, partner
Pareho
rin sa
lang.
China.
I
So
see.
the one that I mentioned, the 2.1 million to 2 million, that's a Chinese brand.
What is interesting with your discussion now is that yung window na sinasabi mo, 1 to 2 years lang. So, ibig sabihin, ang mga entrepreneurs, ang mga nanonood ngayon, dapat hindi ka makampante sa mga panahong yon, hindi ba? So, like, say, for example, okay, if you're a businessman, parang don't just wait for, the pandemic to be over. During the pandemic, you have to move and you have to do it quickly or else you will lose that market that you
Yes.
have. Where did you get that insight to quickly go, or you didn't say pivot, but the changing or the tweaking of the business model?
Me personally as an entrepreneur, I want to use the word disciplined. An unsolicited advice to any founder na gusto magsimula ng startup is like, you have to be very disciplined. During pandemic, we were hit very hard because the model of Mober is we serve malls. Same-day delivery for all the tenants, right? Eh, nagsara yung malls.
Wala, oo.
So, wala. So,
Tsaka masikat ngayon yung mga wala sa mall nung
Yes.
pandemic, kung sino yung mga nasa
yes,
labas.
you're right. So, nagsimula yung mga online, di ba, yung ganon. So, there were temptations, na, sige, i-drop natin yung bulky. Because we're serving bulky appliances, furnitures, We don't serve parcel. We don't serve food. So during pandemic, all my team saying, why don't we shift to parcel? Motorcycle, the app is ready for motorcycle. You can put the app, motorcycle there in just 1 minute. Meron na tayo with onboard. No? So tempting to go there.
Why were you not tempted?
Because I have this feeling that matatapos naman ang pandemic eh. And during that period, maraming bagong players sa motorcycle na pumapasok talaga. Even the motorcycle na pangpasahero, they shifted to delivery. Diba? So, I told the team, let's be patient. Let's use this time to reassess things. And I think there will be a lot of furniture deliveries. Ang pagkakaiba lang, hindi sila pupunta ng mall, bibili sila sa online. And let's call our current clients, no? The biggest appliance center. Sabihin natin na, uy, mag-ready kayo sa online. Kasi, it happened. You know why? Everybody's locked down. They need TV. They need aircon. And they need refrigerator. So,
and they remodeled. Yung iba talagang parang wala silang magawa. Oh, I want a new TV. I want a new furniture. Everybody went into refurbishing.
Yes. So, it was amazing run also for us. No? Ang fortunate lang, we have to downsize because may mga tao kami sa loob ng mall. And wala kaming paglalagyan. So, I have to downsize.
About how many %?
It was around 35.
Okay, malaki din.
Malaki din. Kasi buhay namin nun. May mga tao kami sa malls, right? But after that, we're able to hit the same number of bookings with the lesser team. So,
interesting.
It was okay, no? Then, IKEA came. IKEA opened their store November 25, 2021.
I think it's one of the biggest in
the world.
In the world.
Yeah.
We went there and I think I had muscle ache all over.
Yeah.
But with this partnership, are you exclusive or are there other partners aside from you there?
We're not exclusive. There are 2 services. You have the same-day delivery or the exclusive. We have a kiosk on the ground floor. So you buy your furnitures, bring the cart down to the ground floor, then we do a same-day delivery.
Wow.
For the home delivery, there's other 2 provider. But it's only Mober who provides them electric vehicle. So when they opened last 2021 November, we gave 2 electric vans. I remember that only the crazy guy to jump into the EV. Because they mandated us. Most of the Western European company, they're very conscious of sustainability.
Why did you come up with this positioning on EV? Is it because of that sustainability factor, or will that also reduce your cost? Or you saw also the opportunity that eventually everything will go into EV?
Hindi ko chinek kung magkano yung costing. I mentioned a while ago that EV is more expensive, usually by 1 to 1.5x. The valued client is asking us to do it, right? So we have to show them that we can do it. It's something that I want to prove to them that Mober may be small, but we're very agile. And any decision that they need and they want it, they just can reach me anytime. So when they ask me, can you provide us EVs? I said, yeah, I can. I have to find. Ang hirap maghanap ng EVs noon.
So talagang requirement din talaga. So parang there are companies talaga who really make sustainability a serious business.
Yes.
Diba? Like them? Kasi as you mentioned, it's their standard. It's like a mandated requirement. Tama ba?
Yes. IKEA has a net zero 2030. Meaning the whole chain. Dapat by 2030, zero ka na sila. Neutral na sila.
Oh, in terms of yung
gas emission, carbon
emission, okay,
ganun
carbon
sila
footprint.
Yes,
wow.
ganun sila ka.
So they have a target talaga na by what year?
2030.
2030, zero na.
Yes.
Zero carbon footprint.
Yes, for their last mile delivery, no, by 2025, dapat 100% electric na sila.
How was your journey? You said it was hard for you to look for EV cars.
Yeah.
How did you source that?
If you happen to pass by sa Makati, Mandaluyong, meron dyan na parang bus, minibus.
Okay.
Na electric siya, walang aircon, yung parang di kahon lang na malaki. That's supplied by Isakay of Meralco.
Okay.
I talked to them. Sabi ko, pwede ba tayong mag-partner? Can you sell me that? I-wrap ko lang siya. Gagawin ko talagang truck, tingnan truck, di ba? So kahit ano, basta may maibigay lang ako sa client natin. Then they said, Dennis, I have something like this. They showed me, okay, ilan meron ka? 2. That's the first electric vans in the Philippines. So okay, akin na. So they're very supportive to me. And sila naman kasi they're transitioning the Meralco fleet into EV. They're a subsidiary of Meralco. So yun. So from there, we have a very good relationship. They helped me with this EV. So now we grow. I think now we have 24 units of EV as of today. We have trucks na. Trucks that can load 2.2 tons. By July, we have another 40. And hopefully by end of 2023, we'll have 100 units.
And how much is that percentage to the total EVs in the country?
I think you mentioned there are 13,000 EVs, no? I think kasama na dyan yung mga electric tuk-tuk.
Oh,
Di ba yung
okay,
nakikita mo sa kalsada na yun. So I think for the commercial, when I say commercial, the logistics side, no? Ang hirap ko ngang masabi na Mober has the largest fleet. Pag tinanong ka how many, 24. So parang nakakahiya.
Pero yun yung sa category niya kasi,
Yes.
doon sa van, pagdating sa
van and truck.
Van and truck.
Yeah, so on the logistics side yun. I think we have...
You have the
Yes,
largest
I have the
fleet.
largest, yeah.
I see. This one is interesting. With all this environmental talk behind EV, especially that consumers would now shift to using electricity instead of fuel to power their car and that it's more cost-effective and other benefits, there are other voices opposed or contradictory to the shift. What can you say about the argument that even using electricity to charge the vehicles also consume fossil fuel? Is that it's really not totally saving the environment because of lithium batteries?
Well, I think they're right also. That's why we don't use the word zero emission. Right? We're very careful. I showed you the truck wrap kami. It says this truck is 100% electric, right? But we don't claim it's zero emission. Kasi may emission pa rin naman. But the emission is really
Minimal
so
na lang.
maliit.
In terms of percentage.
Baka 2-3% na lang, parang
okay.
ganon. Compared to the emission of a diesel, right? The emission comes from yung battery pag nag-on ka ng aircon. May aircon naman yung diesel. No? So, i-offset natin, halos konti lang.
Okay, this one is a good question. You've also developed a tracker for CO2 emission within your Mober driver app. How would this contribute to your driver's consciousness on emissions and how would this benefit your customers?
We started developing that tracking of the emission. We want to track how much CO2 we save. When we use EV, we want to track how much CO2 credit that we can claim. Because there's also a market that you can sell your CO2 credits. Unfortunately, most of our clients, they want to take the carbon credits because they get it so that they can offset it to their net zero. So, kailangan nila yon.
Pero para lang maintindihan ng ating mga manonood, Dennis, gaano ba ka-importante yan ngayon? Dito ba sa Pilipinas, di ba, pag sinabi mong carbon footprint, CO2 emission, what exactly is that? And how can you mention it on a layman's terms na maintindihan ng mga manonood?
Okay, pag nag-pollute kasi tayo, may carbon monoxide na lumalabas. I think sa Philippines, we're just starting to come up with monitoring the carbon offset, right? Yung carbon pollution na yon, na-monetize yun, nagiging pera yon, especially sa Western Europe or even sa Europe. Take for example, a big company in Europe, nagsunog sila ng plastic, gumamit sila ng plastic. May mga carbon monoxide na nagagamit, right? Ilang tons of carbon monoxide ang nagamit mo, kailangan mo ring magtanim ng maraming puno para masabi mo na itong punong to nag-emits ng oxygen para ma-zero mo yun.
Offset mo siya.
Yes. Sa Europe po kasi,
mo.
pag gaano kadami yung emission mo ng carbon, tinatax nila yun.
Tinatax nila yung dami ng carbon
Carbon
emissions
emission.
mo.
Oo.
Pero sila, hindi ba kung titingnan din natin yung isang school of thought na, industrial naman, sila naman kasi ang pinakamaraming, diba? I think sabi ni Digong to sila naman na ang gumagamit ng, nagbubuga ng maraming carbon emission. Tayo na Pilipinas, napakakaunti lang tayo. Pero kung gumagawa sila ng mga international agreements and all, tapos yung standards, I think there are standards there, di ba?
Yes.
Nadadamay tayo. So, kumbaga parang, basically, we are victims to
their doing.
Their doing. So, what's your take on that?
I mean, tama naman si President Dico. Problema nila yun, ba't tayo nasali? But they're responsible enough na sa fleet nila, sa kumpanya nila, they're doing this sustainability. Hindi kasi mura ang pag-deliver using EV. They understand na pag sinabi ko, mag-EV tayo, pero yung cost ko dapat may premium ng konti. Diba? And they don't care.
So, pumayag sila sa'yo na
May
gano'n?
premium ng konti.
Oh, that's good.
However,
Pero are you using combination din? Hindi lahat?
yung fleet ni Mober,
Aha,
100% na tayong EV. Ang EV delivery kasi, hindi siya pang lahat pa ha. Yung 10-wheeler, yung pamprobinsya, ay hindi natin kaya yun because there's a range, kilometer range. No? An EV van can, a full charge from 30% to 100%, no? Using a slow charging, takes mga 5 hours.
Is that fast or
Slow charge. We
slow
call it slow charge.
yun?
It will give you a range of 230 kilometers.
So,
Yung 100% niya,
so
230.
halimbawa mula Quezon City hanggang...
Mula dito hanggang Pampanga, pwede pa bumalik. Pero pag bumalik ka na, manginig ka na kasi
Wala na.
saan ako mag-charge? That's a problem. We call it range anxiety.
Which is my next question. Sabi niya dito, charging stations are only less than 20 or so. If there is a full rollout on modernization of vehicles, where will they charge? Sabi mo, in the provinces, electricity is still a dream. So, how can we have more EVs? Yun ba, pinapangunahan mo ba yun, Dennis? Are you pioneering that also so that there will be more EVs, there will be more charging stations?
Hands off ako doon. Because it's not my business model.
But, of course, you want your fleet to grow, from 20 or more and, that could reach out to other areas. What's your vision?
When we do electric vehicle for logistic, calculated na natin kung ilan drops siya. Kung saan siya pupunta, saan i-deliver, we know the range. And it's within our range. So we do that. If yung range na malalayo, we always tell our clients, let's not go there first. I mean, malaki pa naman yung market sa range na to. Dito muna tayo. Let's wait until meron ng mga charging station, then saka tayo
Parang
pumunta doon.
pinapilot mo din.
So wag muna tayo doon.
In terms of your expansion, hindi mo babalak na bago sila pumunta doon sa other areas, makuha mo na?
Since we're a last mile, we don't want to do an intercity.
Intercity.
We can do an intracity muna. So let's the other players who want to go to the intercity, let's them do it. Yung question mo nga kanina, I just want to go back there. We need to teach the driver because the driver kasi here, it's not like tayo marunong mag-drive. Pwede tayo mag-drive ng EV. Yes, pwede. You can use the EV anytime. But there's some skills, like for example, a technology ng EV natin, when you remove your foot from the pedal, it regenerates electricity. Nag-charge siya.
So, mas maganda na inaangat mo yung paa mo?
Kung gusto mo mag-minor, hindi ka aapak ng brake.
Anong gagawin mo?
Bitawan mo lang yung pedal
Yung
mo.
pedal.
Tapos, minor siya, parang engine brake, the engine brake. Pag nag-engine brake, pero itong engine brake nila, hindi siyang masusubsub ka. So, pag binitawan mo siya, slowly, yung friction noon generates electricity and charge to your battery. So, para yung range mo, na-maximize mo.
Oo, namamak. So, in short, talagang may special skill din ang paggamit ng EV.
Sa ngayon, let's say, special. Sa ngayon, no? But eventually, matutunan na ng mga driver kung paano. But kami, in our side, we teach our driver.
Tama.
Ito yung dapat gawin natin para hindi tayo maubusan agad ng battery.
At saka siyempre, ang mga drivers may kanya-kanyang style din ng driving yan, di ba?
But
Ma-minor, ma-brake.
Yes, but the EV kasi lahat automatic to. So, ang automatic niya, drive lang, neutral and reverse, right?
Yes.
So, wala nang iba. Yun lang ang apak. So kaya yung mga drivers na naka-assign sa atin sa EV, relax sila kasi wala na siyang clutch.
Oo.
Wala. So they can be trained. No?
We know that, based on how you describe the EV industry, parang ang bright niya. Ano ang hinahanap mo na support sa infrastructure at sa government sector? What is it that you are looking for, or what's your wish list to also support the sustainability efforts of your business and your partners?
Nagawa na ng government yung gusto natin. Siniro niya na yung tariff. No? It's very brave for them to remove the tariff. No? I'm sure the government thought about this because they want us as an individual to buy our own EV. Now, we can buy Tesla now. We can buy other, diba? It's very expensive. Pero pagpasok mo kung zero tariff na, affordable na sa atin. One. But ang challenge natin as individual, buying personal EV car, are the charging stations. In China, I heard that last year, December, kinat na ng government lahat ng subsidy nila sa EV.
Meaning?
Dati, or for the last 10 years, lahat ng EV charging station.
Sa gobyerno yun?
Gobyerno ang nagtayo. Tinayo nila dyan, tapos bili lang kayo ng bili ng sasakyan. Kasi itong side na to, tinayo na namin. Yung infras. Kayo na bumili ng sasakyan.
They stop subsidizing now, so parang private companies now will take over creating the stations, charging stations?
The reason why they stop the subsidy na, kasi lahat, halos EV na. So, parang tapos na sila. Nakuha na nila yung critical mass. Okay, ops, tapos na ako.
Okay na.
Nandiyan na. Bili kayo ng EV, nasira, bili na lang kayo ng bago. Yun na yun. Tapos na sila. The infrastructure na built na nila. It's amazing.
So, how do you see that now in the Philippines? What do you see is the future of electric vehicles here?
Dati, it's something very new, no? When you heard about EV, pwede ba yan? Pwede. Now, meron na tayo. So, with the government support, yung binibigay nila ngayon, in fairness to our government, they're very supportive. Hopefully, yung mga startup or conglomerates na gusto talaga mag-EV, they can start doing the charging station. Yan muna unahin. Kasi feeling ko, naghihintayan tayo sa chicken egg. Bibili ako ng EV, walang charging station. Pag may charging station naman, at may mga kumpanya na tumayo, kailan bibili ng EV? Baka tinayo ko to, then after 5 years, wala pang bumibili ng EV. Madi-depreciate lang, di ba? So there's a chicken and egg.
Pero gaano din ba kalaking investment sa charging station? Like say for example, I have an EV car. Tapos, sige, bili na rin ako ng charging station.
Okay.
Mahal ba?
Mahal. Pero ganito, if we buy our own EV, for example, personal car natin, I mean, there's a Chinese brand na mura, mga 1.5 million, na okay siya, no? When we buy that, it comes with a charging station, a slow charging. So pag uwi mo, charge mo lang siya. Right? I think the range is really good. Mga 300 kilometers na rin siya. You charge. Ang problema lang doon is like, pag lumabas ka na at gusto mong bumiyahe na malayo, isipin mo, aabot ba ako? Aabot ba ako? Yun eh. Aabot ba ako? Kasi kung pagdating, let's say, if you wanna go to Baguio, sige, lagyan na rin maraming charging station sa Baguio. Kampante tayo. Di ba?
O kaya kahit dun sa Mandantarlac, sa gitna ka.
Yes. So probably, maghanap na lang sila ng point kung saan pwede. Para let's say, I'm going to Baguio, itong gagawin, di ba? I think the best person or company to do it, probably si NLEX. Ito yung NLEX ko, di ba? Lagyan ko na lang to kada, may shoulder ako, may charging ako. Sila yung dapat, di ba? Which I think Meralco is also doing that for NLEX.
I see.
Hopefully, they can do the whole stretch of north. Yun.
Now that you are pioneering the use of EVs in the country, especially in logistics, it's very interesting that you were able to create this positioning and you matched it with the needs, requirements of the companies that are really looking for sustainability efforts, which is good. But how do you see it grow? What are the other opportunities for EVs in the country?
Speaking for the logistics side, no, on the commercial side, it's a very small door that opened. No? When you open it, the growth is massive. Imagine mo, if you want to refleet all the diesel trucks, the six-wheeler, four-wheeler, and the AUV there, can you imagine how many units are those? In my side lang, if you can ask me how big we go to LTFRB and ask ilan nakarestrong prangkisa yung CPC, di ba? I think 1 million units, that's big. Malaki. I've said, we have this window of 1 to 3 years windows. Pagkatapos yan, everybody will go there. Ang problema kasi ngayon, our logistic industry kasi, there are some mom and pops transport provider. May isang pamilya o OFW, bumili ng truck, 3 truck. Tapos subcontract to the big companies, right? Kaya lang, ang problema sa ganun, kakabili niya lang, hindi pa niya nababawi. Diesel, pina-upgrade to Euro 4 because Euro 4 is more clean, no? Clean. But Euro 4 is the base. May Euro 5, Euro 6 na eh. So we're doing Euro 4. Yung mga maliit na operator, kakabili lang ng Euro 4. Hindi pa nila bawi. Tapos ngayon may EV na. So yung diesel fleet, it will take some time para mag-defleet pa. So, opportunities, if there are companies like the companies that I mentioned, then that's the low-hanging fruits for me.
Okay. Ngayon, Dennis, alam naman natin ang mga issue sa Pilipinas ngayon. Nako-cover namin sa balita ang tigil pasada o yung mga modernization na yan. So, na ma-phase out, ganyan. So, ano ngayon ang nakikita mo na role of EV industry or the EV in this problem on transportation? Will this somehow create another issue or another controversy? Kasi ang bottom line nito, yung mga customer pa rin, yung mga nagko-commute at yung mga businesses na or mga customer na naghihintay ng delivery ng mga in-order nila.
For the logistic, no, I don't see any problem for the logistic, no. But for the issue of transport, I just leave it to the expert.
Very safe answer.
No, because honestly, the reason why I don't want to speak about that because it's not my specialty. I have nothing. I have no knowledge for that. So in fact, yesterday I was with Secretary Bautista in one event launching of an EV. I was asking him, sakit sa ulo. Dito ka sa logistics. Yes, sir, dito ako sa logistics. So, again, I'm sorry, I don't have any knowledge for the transport. Yeah.
Okay, but in business, the use of EVs, do you think that this innovation or this technology will be better for your business in the long term?
Well, yes. When we say long term, my long term is 5 years.
5 years.
It's really hard to go beyond. In fact, if you can ask me long term, baka 3 years lang ang long term ko. Then we'll see what will happen for the next 2 years and reach the 5 years. I'm still living in that startup mindset. No?
Which is good.
Yeah, but again, no, I'm not considered startup because already 5-6 years na ang Mover. No? The EV play, we're not disrupting anything. It's just like, there's an opportunity, then we go there. It's a mainstream business now for us. When we go and raise fund now for investor, I feel it's easier now for me, for Mover, if we go raise fund because we're not burning marketing money anymore. So if we want to do it, because we want to expand our business now.
You mentioned about growing the fleet. What are your plans in terms of expanding, or bringing in more EVs for Mover?
Yeah, by 2023, this end year, we're looking at 100 units of mix, EV vans and EV trucks.
Na ang service niya, Luzon pa rin, or meron ka na sa Visayas at Mindanao?
So Mover is nationwide naman. Intra-city kami. We'll be sending 2 units of EV trucks to Cebu to serve Cebuanos naman for EV.
It's now time for you to also give advice to small businesses, startups. In your case, one lesson that I learned personally is that 1 or 2 years is not very long. You have to maintain also somehow that startup mindset to be able to tweak immediately and serve the needs of the market. marami po din nagbabalak na maging startup. Nung una ho namin kayong in-interview, yun ang gusto naming malaman. Paano maging successful ang startups? Because of the pandemic, there were a lot of innovations that happened. Even the customer behaviors changed. And there were new innovations, creations of new products because of the pandemic. So as an entrepreneur, what is your advice that you can give them to somehow, if they want to change their business model, they should do it right away as well?
As I mentioned a while ago, no, discipline. You need to be very disciplined. Two, you have to be very agile. Now kasi masyadong challenging na ang pagtayo ng startup because the era of disruption parang natapos na. We disrupted the taxi industry, we disrupted the food delivery. Wala na tayong maisip na ano pang kailangan na i-disrupt, no? So, me as an entrepreneur, I think this is about time na when you start a business, whether it's traditional, whether it's online, you consider yourself a startup. And parata kong sinasabi, huwag tayo masyadong analysis paralysis. Diba? Maraming, compute, diba? So, kung hindi mo simulan, hindi mo malalaman kung ano mangyayari. Simulan mo, then, saka ka mag-tweak. Be agile, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Then, at the same time, don't be very focused sa original mong plan. Tweak. Be disciplined.
Wow, that's a perfect way to end this conversation. And I'm sure there are a lot of companies, small businesses, or other stores who want to collab with Mober. How can they find you?
Yeah, you can go to our website or you can go to LinkedIn and just look for Mober. We usually do a 30-day pilot test. Then we look for your routing and see if EB is really your thing to do, no? If not, then we advise you na hindi pa to para sa inyo.
Wow, this has been a very exciting conversation with the CEO and founder of Mober Logistics, Mr. Dennis Ng. Open for Business. We'll be back. Stay with us.
Manila, this is Bruno Mars. I'll be performing at the Philippine Arena June 24th and June 25th. Go get your tickets at livenation.ph. I'll see y'all soon.
Pupunta ka ron bilang owner ng 40% ng shares ng Fikri Harika. Bilang business partner, pumunta ka ron at bawi ng rights mo.
Tama ka.
Di pa tapos si Emre sa kanilang company.
Anong ginagawa mo dito? May rights na ako tulad mo. Isa na ako majority owner. Umalis ka na, baka hindi ako makapagpigil.
Pero ang paghihinakit at galit, mauuwi nga ba sa trahedya?
Nandito ngayon ang kapatid niyo sa ospital.
Ano?
Daydreamer. Monday to Friday, 7:30 p.m. Dito lang sa Net25.
Open for business. These are the trending business news around the world. Global tourism sector understaffed according to a new survey. A global research in tourism employment indicated a looming human capital crisis and that the situation is more critical than ever, according to a survey commissioned by the Tourism Employment Expansion Mandate Project, a cross-sector collaborative effort to understand the workforce deficit in the travel industry. The key findings of the survey noted that 68% of the respondents said they are understaffed, especially in the areas of food preparation, technology, AI, sales, and reservations. Younger talents have also been harder to attract to the travel and tourism industry, as 62% of respondents said that the 25 to 45-year-old workforce are choosing pharmaceutical and technology industries instead. The survey also reflected that no actions have been taken to address the issues. Foreign investment in China hits 18-year low. China recorded a slump in foreign investments in the second half of 2022, hitting its lowest in 18 years due to tensions with the US, a bleak growth outlook, and fears of possible slack in economic reforms. Foreign direct investment into the country only totaled $42.5 billion between July and December 2022, way below its 6 months average of more than $160 billion between late 2020 and early 2022, according to an official balance of payments. Foreign companies were hesitant to make new investments in China, partly due to the fallout from the country's zero-COVID policy. That is our business wrap-up. I am Randy Bernardino for Open for Business.
Kaya tara na Pilipino, let's get together, let's all come alive. Kaya tara na Pilipino, let's net together. Sa Net 25, sa Net 25.
Palawak ang naabot ng Net 25, hindi na mapigilan. Mapabata man o matanda, ang programa ay kinahiligan. Together forever, walang iwanan. Lahat tayo ay paangat magilaan. Maganda ang buhay, malinaw ang signal na abot sa bawat tahanan. Tara na, sambayan ng Pilipino, sama-sama na sa bagong paborito. Hinahanap ang talento at mga idolo, lahat ay nandito. Kaya sa Net 25,
kaya tara na Pilipino, let's get together, let's all come alive. Kaya tara na Pilipino, let's net together. Sa Net 25, sa Net 25,
sa Net 25, tara na, tara na, tara na sa Net 25. Talagang lahat ay masaya, sulit ang panonood, kaabang-abang ang mga kasunod. Kaya patagal ng patagal ay parami ng parami ang manonood. Tara na, sambayan ng Pilipino, sama-sama na sa bagong paborito. Hinahanap ang talento at mga idolo, lahat ay nandito. Kaya sa Net 25,
kaya tara.
Pangunahin kong trabaho dito, ako ay nagtatanim ng mga bermuda at sa mga iba't ibang mga halaman dito sa Ambassador. Yung naitulong po sa akin ng Ambassador, yung napaaral ko yung mga anak ko, gumanda uli yung buhay namin. Ano ko na talaga lahat ng mga ng pamilya ko, kailangan nila.
Unang pasok ko dito noong 2007, ako yung kinuha ng engineer namin, maging partner sa kanya, mag-layout ng mga building na ito. Hanggang ito ay nabuo, malaking tulong ng Ambassador sa akin noon na pag-pandemic dahil tuloy-tuloy ang pasok ko dito. Nataguyod ko yung anak ko sa pagkain.
Years na po ako dito nagtatrabaho bilang laundry supervisor. Minsan may mga pera nga naiiwan sa wallet, binabalik namin sa guests, sa mga bisita para at least satisfied naman sila yung sa service namin.
Isa pa akong barista dito sa Ambassador. Malaking naitulong sa pamilya ko ng trabaho kong ito kasi paaral ko yung mga anak ko. Gusto kong mag-work dito kasi maganda yung treatment ng Ambassador family from the management.
Ang magandang training sa Ambassador in Paradise kasi na-orient ang mga empleyado how to deal ng client, how to serve sa client. Ang pagka-deal sa customer, we treat them as a family na rin ang mga bisita. Magandang location ng Ambassador, magandang services ng Ambassador. Tulad sa pagkain namin, mabilang namin na #1 na pagkain sa isla rin.
Hello everyone, good evening. Welcome to Al Fresco Restaurant.
at Ambassador in Paradise. We have tiger prawns, or lapu-lapu, or red grouper in English. We also have shellfish, scallops, clams, and oyster. Of course, you can order a minimum of 100 grams with your method of cooking, with side dishes. Well, we usually coordinate with our suppliers on a daily basis to make sure that they do deliver us the quality ones, fresh ones from the market itself. Again, I'm inviting everyone to dine with us here at Al Fresco Restaurant in Ambassador in Paradise Hotel.
Thank you talaga sa boss ko, Sir Yog. Napakalaking pasalamat ko sa boss namin na hindi kami iniwan. Nung nag-pandemic at saka yung paghihirap ng pamilya.
Sir Yop, maraming salamat sa patuloy mo mga pagsuporta sa amin, sa akin. Lalong-lalo na yung may problema yung asawa ko. Yung iba nga hindi ko na nabayaran dahil hindi mo na sinisingil sa akin. Maraming salamat talaga.
Pasalamat talaga kami sa management, sa may-ari, Mr. Yop van der Tak.
Nagpapasalamat po ako sa management, lalong-lalo na po kay Sir Yop van der Tak, supervisor, managers, all department.
I'm so glad nga nagtrabaho ako dito sa Ambassador kasi nga maganda yung pakita nila sa akin, maganda yung treatment nila sa akin. Parang pamilya ko na rin po yung Ambassador. Ambassador in Paradise!
Hindi ko kayo ipagpapalit kahit kanino. Solid! Break it down!
Manila, this is Bruno Mars. I'll be performing at the Philippine Arena June 24th and June 25th. Go get your tickets at livenation.ph. I'll see y'all soon.
Magandang araw, magandang araw. Magandang araw, magandang araw. Magandang araw, magandang araw. Magandang araw, magandang araw. Any time of the day, it's super saya. Lalo na kung si Ara lagi mong kasama. Magandang araw, magandang araw.
And our buzzword of the week is net zero emissions. Net zero means cutting greenhouse gas emissions to as close to zero as possible, with any remaining emissions reabsorbed from the atmosphere by oceans and forests, for instance. The electric vehicle industry in the Philippines is still in the nascent stage compared with other nations, but has a lot of room for growth as the country strives toward a more sustainable future. The Philippine government is doing its part to provide incentives, including tax breaks, to sweeten the switch to this cleaner and more cost-effective form of transportation. As the electric vehicle industry in the Philippines continues to grow, it is an exciting time for investors, entrepreneurs, and anyone passionate about sustainability and innovation. Whether you are looking to invest in the industry as an investor or entrepreneur, or simply interested in learning more about this new market, there has never been a better time to get involved in the electric vehicle industry in the Philippines. With the potential to transform the way we move and live, electric vehicles are a key part of building a greener, cleaner, and more sustainable future for all. And with that, our quote of the week is, EVs come into play, not simply for the sake of energy efficiency, but because they are a desirable high-technology consumer product. And that's from the International Energy Agency. Thank you, Mr. Dennis, nang maraming salamat sa isang oras na pagsama sa amin upang tunghayan ang isang makabuluhang usapan ukol sa negosyo dito lang sa Open for Business. Hanggang sa susunod na linggo, samahan nyo kaming muli dito sa Open for Business. Catch us too on Facebook and YouTube. Like and subscribe on our social media page, Net25 TV. We will bring you more insights from industry experts, thought leaders, CEOs, and featured SMEs. Together, let us help encourage business development in the Philippines. Sharpen your business acumen, feel the pulse, and set the trend for as long as you're informed and open for business. Ito po si Cesar Vallejos. Marami pong salamat. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you so much.
This program is presented